Hello, good evening. Hello, I wish you a very, very warm welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me, so thank you for watching. If you are new to this kind of webinar, very warm welcome. I hope you like it. We're going to do the MIR-Method together, which means it will work really strong, because when we do this as a group, it will work more effectively. So I hope it will do you much good. When you have done this kind of webinar before, then I really give you a warm welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me again, and I hope it will do you good again. And when we do the MIR-Method as a group, it works much better. So I'm glad you join in. When you are a MIR-Method coach, then a warm welcome to you too. I'm very glad that you coach people, that you help people to guide them through the processes that they do when they do the MIR-Method. And sometimes it's quite hard for people, especially when old traumas are surfacing, and you as a MIR-Method coach can really help these people to go through it much faster and much lighter. So thank you for doing that. There are 2 courses on the MIR-Method website. If you're interested, it's designed for MIR-Method coaches. And maybe you'd like to have a look at it as well. They are called Deeper Understanding of the MIR-Method and the additional techniques of the MIR-Method. The latter one, the additional techniques of the MIR-Method, that one is very interesting for everyone because it contains extra techniques that we really need in the future, in the near future. It's like the first aid. You can do this when you have a cut or a wound, if you have a strong headache, if you have an asthma attack, or if you have panic attack or strong feelings of sadness or anger. You can use this first aid technique immediately with only your hands, and you can use it knowing the MIR-Method, the 9 steps. So it's a very easy technique, but you need to understand how it works, and you need to understand why it works, because then it will work much better in you. So please have a look at it if you're interested, and I hope to make it more available to anyone. I'm working on that. But please have a look at it if you can. All right. Sorry, I have an itchy nose, which means that the large intestine meridian is working, and that it means letting go of past, letting go of fear of change, letting go of, how do you say that? When you feel powerless, letting go of powerlessness. It's quite strong today. So I wonder, usually it's from the group. So I think this group is letting go of things. This is not something that's usual for, it's not usually for me, but it's for the people who are watching. So I'm glad you're here with me. It always looks very, not very ladylike to rub my nose, but oh well, it's itchy, so I rub it. But it's a good sign. I have this gift of feeling things that are in other people, so I know when it's mine, and I know when it's the people's transformance. All right, I'm going to have a look at the presentation. We're going to talk about what people really want and how people really are. How are they really? What are they like? First of all, I always address these 4 things. To have a good immune system, it's very important to relax, to find your peace of mind, your rest. And I'm going to talk about this in the presentation. So how do you create this inner peace? It's also very important to detox, to find the means to get all this rubbish out of your body, out of your system. Emotions can also be toxic, so get them out of your system. And by doing that, you really help the whole of humanity to evolve. So the harder you work on yourself, the better it goes with the whole of humanity. So thank you for doing that. We also need to have healthy food and water in our body, so please work on that. And it's very important to stay cheerful or to make yourself cheerful. So look at those things that make you happy. Look at the flowers, the plants, at animals, look at children, look at other people you really like, and fulfill your heart, because that's really very beneficial for your whole system. It's also a very good antidote against stress, because there's a lot of stress going on. But when you're cheerful, it always will glide off of you, will go away. All right, now, what do people really want? Really, 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 deep inside, what do they really want? They want attention. You probably might have thought of that as well. But what is attention? What kind of things do people really need? Well, first of all, they need to be seen. So when you have contact with a person, look the person in the eye. When you look at somebody intensely, the person feels seen, and that's so beneficial for this person. This person feels really connected. It's very strong. So if you have children that want attention from you very often, all you need to do is look them straight in the eye, listen intently for 5 minutes, and then they go their own way. Then they are much more independent. Whether, on the other hand, if you are working and you just go like, oh, don't bother, no, I'm busy, go away, and you don't look at them at all, that's when they come back all the time, because they want to be seen. So look at them intensely for 5 minutes, and that's when they feel connected, then they go away from you. Same goes for to be heard. So everybody wants to be listened to. We really want that. People want that. We want to be understood deeply. So all the things that bother us, when we tell about it, it's so good to be understood. That's so valuable. Then to be touched. It's like basic to be touched lovingly. We need that as a human being. You can also be touched with a soft animal, when you have a cat or a rabbit or a hamster, when you stroke it, or a dog. That's also the feeling of being touched. So animals can also fulfill that basic need. To be encouraged, people need to be encouraged and not discouraged, because people are usually very often discouraged. But people need encouragement. It's like, I have this new idea. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Oh yes, of course, go ahead. Why don't you give it a try? You're here on Earth, and it's good to have experiences. So just go ahead and give it a try. And if it fails, well, you learn a lot. So go ahead. That would be so nice if people do that to each other. In America, people do this. They encourage each other. In the Netherlands and Belgium, we don't do that so much. We just sort of, well, be careful. Maybe it will be quite a risk. Maybe it's better if you don't do it. So we are quite, I don't know the word for it, but we are quite careful. But the Americans are like, yeah, go for it, jump into the... And that's nice, very nice. Then also people need to be able to decide. People really like to decide for themselves, and not that other people tell them what to do. Children are a good example of this. They want to decide for themselves, and they feel really good when they can do that. So that's something like we like to be autonomous. We like to be able to have influence on our own lives. We really like that. That's what people want. Now, what more do people really want? They want peace and quiet. Everybody wants peace and quiet inside. Now, what does that look like? It means no worries. It means nothing. What happens if you have nothing to worry about in your head? How would that be? No worries at all, nothing. Like as if you were a child that can play endlessly. No worries at all. Or if you would be a cat, no worries at all. Some people really long to be a cat. Oh, I wish I was a cat. Then they It's because they have too much worries in their head. Peace and quiet also comes with safety, when people feel safe, when they live in a neighborhood that's really safe, when they have no concerns regarding their body or their family members or their house, when they're really safe, when they're in a good environment that really helps people. That's what people really, really want. And that's going to be in the future. We're working towards that. It's coming. People want their own home. It doesn't have to be a house. People want to have a place they can call their home. Like if they live in a community with other people and they only have one room, that's fine. People, if there are people that live in a house with too many people and they live with more people in one room, even then, if they have a little, like a square meter, which is their own, and they can put their stuff there, that's good. It's not much, but that's very important for people to have their own place, their own space. And that feels like their home. That's what people really need, and they really like to go back to. And of course, it's tearing our hearts apart when we think of homeless people. And more people are getting homeless because of the way the countries are led by the leaders. So it's very, very time that people will start to change this and start to influence the leaders of the countries. So they start to address these problems, because these problems are solvable and easy. They're not difficult. It's very easy to solve these problems. And it's coming. They are going to be solved. Then food and drink. It's very important that people have food and drink, of course. It's so basic. But not everybody has it, so everybody should. Good company, that's what people also really want. Good company. And it doesn't have to be a person. It can also be an animal. It can also be a plant. Or, my fine moments can be when I'm standing next to a plant I really love in my garden. I look at it and I can see how the leaves are growing and the buds are there and the flowers are coming soon. I'm just enjoying that so much. That's also good company. So you can really have company from other people or animals or plants. So that's a fun way to look at it, but that can also be companionship. Now, what else do people really, really want? Growth. People want to grow. I've been told that humanity is one of the special species in the entire universe that is always improving itself. Always. So we are really extraordinary kind of people. We're a very extraordinary species that we are developing all the time, and we always want to make things better. And yeah, so that's a good quality we have, don't we? Now we want to grow emotionally, so letting go of the past and healing our emotional wounds. Many people work on that, which is awesome, because the more people work on that, the more the whole of humanity is evolving. So that's great. And of course, the MIR-Method is one of the methods that help doing that. Besides that, we also want to become more wise. We want to learn from our mistakes. We don't want to make the same mistakes over and over again. One of my biggest mistakes is that I see people the way they really truly are. I see their wonderful inside. I see their good hearts. Their beautiful, pure hearts. That's what I see. I don't see so much their shield on the outside. I don't see so much the negative behavior of people. So sometimes people fool me, or so people cheat me, and it's I'm learning, but I learn slowly. But I really like to be more wise in this. But it's coming. And people like to grow spiritually. They do. And you can compare it with people who live in fear, who have a hard time being on earth, and everything's dark and hard and fearful. But when you grow spiritually, you start to feel more like you have faith, and you feel like you can trust on what is thrown at you is there because you need to learn a lesson. And then when you learn the lesson, you can move on, and then things change, and things change for the better. So growing spiritually is something people really like from deep inside, because it's so much nicer to live in trust, in faith, than that it is to live in fear. So when you grow spiritually, you start to trust the whole process of being a human, and you'll start to feel that everything is there for a reason. Nothing is coincidental. And you can learn from everything, from every person that you meet. And you can also start to trust that there's help, and there's always help for you when it's difficult. And that makes you feel supported. And that's such a nice feeling, such a nice way of living. So growing spiritually is also very beneficial for your health. Now, what are people really like? I have found a picture that really shows the way I look at people. Actually, we are spiritual beings in a human body. So that means we are very infinite beings, and we are in a human body, which is quite narrow and limited. Actually, we are beautiful, pure beings with a layer of protection. That's what humans are. So when they come to Earth, they are really pure and good. And then we all experience things that maybe traumatize us or make us sad or angry. And then we build a layer around us, and that makes us not so pure anymore. But we can always take the layer off. It's like this fruit. Look at these strawberries or kiwis or pieces of apple with a layer of chocolate on it. To be honest, I don't like that at all. I think the taste of a strawberry is wonderful and good and yummy. And then people put chocolate around it, which is artificial and sugar, and the combination is in my brain. It goes really berserk. So I really don't like it. So when you think of the chocolate as the layer of protection, it's so good when that melts, when it goes away, and then you have this pure fruit that's so tasty and so good for your health. So you can look at people like this. And yeah, I don't see the layer of chocolate in people. I only see the fruit. I only see the strawberry. So I am training myself to look at the chocolate as well. It's a funny metaphor, this is. All right, now what are people really like? When you look at the film, The Green Beautiful, it's on Netflix. I hope you can receive Netflix. There's this wonderful film about people from a different planet, and they're traveling to Earth, and nobody wants to go because Earth is so underdeveloped. And then one lady goes to Earth, and we see her whole journey through her eyes, and it's so funny, and it has a very strong message. So please look at the film. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, and it's funny, and it has very deep, deep meaning, very inspiring. Now, what do people really need? It depends on how much they already received. So if you had a childhood where you were not seen, not heard, not understood, not touched, then you really need to work to fulfill all that. You can use the MIR-Method, of course, to do that. Step 3 and step 7 are very important for that. Then you can fulfill everything you missed in your childhood. And that gives you a very great, gives you great development. Because if you come from that start and you can work on it yourself, and you start to be fulfilled, and you start to have this inner peace, your power will be so strong and you will radiate so much light. It's amazing. All right, we're going to do the MIR method now, thinking about what I just said, about what we need, what we really, really need deep inside. And when you do the MIR method, you attract all that into your life. When we do the MIR method as a group, it's very strong. We have a strong feeling of connection, but the effect is also stronger. We have a larger effect to the surrounding. And that's, I tell this because of the intention experiments from Lynne McTaggart. Her website, I put it on here for the first time. It's www.lynnemctaggart.com. And when you go to her website, you can join in intention experiments. That means that you'll start to send loving energy to places on Earth together with, I don't know how many at the moment, I think tens of thousands of people worldwide. They are all sending intention, loving intention, energy to places on Earth where there is a big conflict. And then they look at the results, and the results are amazing. So if you feel like you're powerless and you feel you can do nothing about conflicts or countries that are in trouble, if you join her, you will feel you can really contribute. So have a look at her website, please. We're going to do the MIR method now. So start stroking or caressing yourself lovingly. And we're going to fulfill everything that we need as a human being. Here we go. Step 1. Optimize acidity. Optimize acidity. Optimize acidity. Detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. Detach Father. Detach Father. Detach Father. Detach Mother. Detach Mother. Detach Mother. Clear meridians. Clear meridians. Clear meridians. Supplement all shortages. Supplement all shortages. Supplement all shortages. Balance hormone system. Balance hormone system. Balance hormone system. Fulfill basic needs. Fulfill basic needs. Fulfill basic needs. Optimize chakras and aura. Optimize chakras and aura. Optimize chakras and aura. Clarify mission. Clarify mission. Clarify mission. Oh wow, it's working. This group is letting go so much. Wow. Huh. All right, thank you for helping me with doing the MIR method. I wonder what you experience in letting go, because in this group there are many people letting go of things. Wow. If you can, please leave a message on the English website, MIR-Method.com, because I really would like to know what you experienced and how it helped you. I'm always very curious to read that. And to do that, you can go to the website page. Here you see it, MIR-Method.com/together. That's where you can find it. I'm going to do another webinar within 2 weeks' time. It's Friday, June the 10th. And we're going to talk about these superpowers that we have as human beings. Superpowers like telepathy or clairvoyancy or clairsense. I don't know the word yet, I have to practice. So when you know things you can't know. So it's like clairsentience. I think that's the word, something like that. I will look it up. So these special abilities I'm going to talk about. If you want to be a MIR-Method coach, you're very welcome. Then please look at the courses, the additional techniques course and the deep understanding of the MIR-Method course, because then you'll learn what you need as a MIR-Method coach. So please have a look at it, because there are many people that really can use some extra coaching when they do the MIR-Method. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to do the Dutch webinar now. I mean the German webinar now at 10 o'clock. So I have to say goodbye to you, and I hope to see you again in 2 weeks' time. Until then, bye bye bye. I hope you have a very good night or a very good day ahead of you. Bye bye.